class, it's Mrs. Williams again. I thought it would be fun to read you guys a story. And so I'll probably be doing this quite a bit. I will put them on YouTube on our little channel. I'm going to figure it out. I haven't done it before, but I'll figure it out for you. And you can experience it similar to how you would if I were reading to you in class. One story that I want to read to you and I'm really excited about it's about the Oregon Trail. And we will be learning about the Oregon Trail in the coming weeks. And this is a choose your own adventure book. And so what I thought I would do is I will read, if you haven't read these before, then you'll get to experience it maybe for the first time, where you read a portion of the story and then it comes to a point in the story where you get to choose what happens next. And so we'll do a little voting, and whatever the majority of our class votes for to happen next is what I will read. So I'm going to get started with this. This is the Oregon Trail, an interactive history adventure, and it is everything that happened in this happens in the story happened to real people, and you are going to get to choose what we do next. The choices that you make will lead you to wonderful opportunities, perhaps, or they could lead to death. So intense. All right, well, here goes. On the Oregon Trail, about your adventure. You are living in the United States in the mid-1800s, the time of the Oregon Trail. In this book, you'll explore how the choices people made meant the difference between life and death. The events you'll experience happen to real people. Chapter 1 sets the scene. Then you choose which path to read. Follow the directions at the bottom of each page. The choices you make will change your outcome. After you finish your path, go back and read the others for new perspectives and more adventures. You choose the path you take through history. Okay, here we go. Wagon trains crossed the plains heading west on the Oregon Trail. On the Oregon Trail, the mid-1800s were a time of expansion and exploration for the United States. Remember, after the Louisiana Purchase, we started expanding our territory and having more and more land to explore. Americans spread out across North America. The promise of a new life called to many. They claimed land for farming and raising livestock. Think about that. Do you know what livestock are? Right, like cows or oxen are considered to be livestock. By the 1840s, thousands of people were packing their belongings into wagons and heading west. Most followed the 2,000-mile Oregon Trail, a trip that took most settlers 5 or 6 months to complete. Long wagon trains rumbled across the plains of present-day Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho, and Oregon. If you want to pause the video and get a globe or a map out so you can visualize that journey, or look at the papers that I sent home in your student pages, it would be an important part of this to see really how far these people traveled. And they didn't travel by train or plane or even car. Long wagon trains rumbled across those plains. Other trails branched off from the Oregon Trail. They led to California, Utah, and other places. While some people headed west looking for land, others rushed to California to search for gold. On January 24th, 1848, James Marshall discovered gold at the sawmill he built for John Sutter on the bank of the South Fork American River near Coloma, California. Stories of the gold brought thousands of people to California who hoped to strike it rich for themselves. Life was hard on the Oregon Trail. Much of the trail cut through the grasslands of the Great Plains. Settlers were far from civilization. Diseases such as cholera and smallpox were deadly. Cholera was a disease that just ravaged communities at that time, and it was from drinking unclean water. Cholera still exists today, but it would cause just terrible tummy tummy pains and vomiting and just yucky bathroom troubles, and they couldn't keep food down. And if they couldn't keep food and water down, then they had a hard time surviving. Floods, storms, and droughts threatened travelers and their animals. River crossings were dangerous, and while many American Indian groups left the travelers alone, others were less welcoming. Some Indians stole settlers' animals. Others attacked or killed the travelers because they felt threatened. Here again is this map. I want you to see that. The Louisiana Purchase of 1803 doubled the size of the United States and opened the West for expansion. Okay, so if you want to pause the video and find those things, they're pointing to the Oregon Trail. That's the green line from Independence, Missouri, leading ultimately to Oregon City, Oregon. The California Trail, it veered off at this point, and settlers went there to get some gold if they were lucky. And then south to Utah was another cutoff. Well, the dangers did not stop the settlers. Most left from Independence, Missouri. They followed the trail across the plains. They passed landmarks such as Chimney Rock, Fort Laramie, Fort Bridger, Soda Springs, Fort Boise, and the Snake River along the way. Those who made it to Oregon found fertile land for the taking. So what's fertile land? Think about that. What makes land fertile? Or what does that mean? Right, it means land that grows, that you're able to grow food on. It's healthy soil, and they found lots of healthy soil. Could you survive the perils, the dangers of the trail to make a new, better life? Wagon trains lost many people to the dangers of the Oregon Trail. To brave the Oregon Trail with a young family, you're going to turn to page 13. So if you want to go on that Oregon Trail, the map that I showed you on the page before, you want to brave it with your young family, you're going to vote for number 1. If you want to be a guide for a wagon train along the trail, you want to help lead the way, we're going to turn to page 45. We're going to call that option 2. And if you want to head for California during the gold rush, you want to take your chances and see if you can find some gold, you're going to vote for number 3. So you're going to let me know you want to do option 1, adventure 2, or adventure 3. Whatever gets the most votes is the next part of the story that I will read to you. I hope you enjoyed our first story time. I will be doing another one on the Oregon Trail for you, and then some silly stories as well. Okay, I miss you guys. Bye.